I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on multiple choice questions. We have categorized few topics and combined them with some concepts so that you can have some challenging questions for preparation to get into good universities. Now, the students who are getting into SAT and ACT will definitely benefit from these questions. So now we'll talk about circle related with Pythagorean triple, distance, midpoint and area. Based on this, I have 4 questions for you. Question number 1. A chord 24 inches long is 5 inches from the center of the circle. What is the radius of the circle to the nearest tenth of an inch? You can always pause the video, copy the question, answer, and then look into my suggestions. Sometimes the diagram is given, sometimes it is not given. So just make a rough sketch just as I have made. That's the center of the circle. And let us say this is the chord. What we need to find is the radius of the circle. So the radius could be like this, right? So that is the radius. Let's call it R. What we are given here is that the length of the chord is 24 inches. And the center is 5 inches above it. So we have this height as 5. Since it forms an isosceles triangle, these two sides should be equal. And therefore, the length of each will be 12. Now, if you know Pythagorean triple, you know R should be equal to 12 square. Now, that is the longest side, so you need to add these two squares and then find the square root. Now, this clearly is 13, since we know a Pythagorean triple, which is 5, 12, 13. Now, it is very important to know these numbers, especially when you are going in for multiple choice test papers. Otherwise, it takes some time to calculate. You could do all this calculation, no problem, and get the answer as 13, which is option B. But if you know some of these triples, like 3, 4, 5 is very well known, and some more, then it will really help you save a lot of time. So the key here is to understand Pythagorean triples. Now that could help you in many questions. For the students entering into ACT test, for them calculators are allowed, the basic calculators, so they can do fast calculations, and they're also expected to answer 60 questions in 60 minutes. So they don't really have much time. So let's move on and see question number 2 now. I hope this concept is absolutely clear. Question number 2. A circle with radius 5 cm is removed from circle with radius 13 cm. Find the area of the remaining circle if both had center at 3, 4. So basically they are concentric, right? So they have the same center. So we have two circles. So it's kind of like this. Do you see that? And what we are given here is that the radius of inner circle is 5 and the radius for the outer circle is 13. That is what we are given. And if we remove the inside circle, then what remains is this circle. So this section area is what we need to figure out. So I hope that is clear. Now you can actually pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. The formula for area is pi r square, right? So for circle, area is pi r square. Now you are not given the formulas for ACT. You have to remember them. That is very important. So make a list of formulas. Remember before getting into this test. So the area of the portion left will be pi times radius square, which is 13 outer, minus 5 square, correct? Now last time also we did this Pythagorean triple, you know it should be what? It should be 12 square, right? And that is 144 pi. So if you know your triples, you can very easily do it. Now this calculation could also be done very fast with another method. That is, this portion here, 13 square minus 5 square, could also be written as 13 plus 5 times 13 minus 5, correct? So that also helps you at times to do faster calculations, right? So it gives you 18 times 13 take away 5, which is 7, which is 8. So 8 times 18 will also give you the same result, 144. However, you again understand how important it is to remember Pythagorean triples. So if you know this triple, that is 5 square plus 12 square is equal to 13 square, then such questions can be very easily answered. And this triple is extremely important to remember. So that is what I am emphasizing on with the first two examples. Now let's look into coordinate geometry type of questions. Question number 3. Consider a circle with diameter AB and center 2, 3. Find the coordinates of B if A is at 7 minus 5. So this time what we are given is the diameter of the circle, right? So let me just sketch randomly one line going through the center, right? So that becomes the center of this circle. So we'll write A on one end. So A is given to us as 7 minus 5. B we don't know, but we are given the center, which is 2, 3. Now here we have to use the midpoint formula to find B. Let it be xy. So in these tests, we do not give you straightforward questions, right? Normally, you know how to find the midpoint, average of the two extremes, correct? So 2 basically should be equal to sum of 7 and x divided by 2, right? Similarly, 3 should be average of their y values, right? So 3 should be equal to minus 5 plus y, or I can write y minus 5 divided by 2. So that is from the midpoint formula, correct? Let me write down the midpoint formula also for you. Midpoint is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, correct? That's the midpoint formula. I'll also provide you with all the formulas which you need to remember for ACT specifically. So you can cross multiply. You get 4 equals to 7 plus x, and that gives you x as 4 minus 7, which is minus 3. So it seems this is the right answer. Let's check. Here we get 3 times 2 is 6 equals to y minus 5. So that gives you y equals to 6 plus 5, which is 11. Perfect. So that is how you get solution of this particular question. Now here we have extremely difficult question. Question number 4. Find the length of tangent from point 57 to the circle x square plus y square equals to 16. I'd like you to pause the video, answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. Now look here. We are given a circle here which is x square plus y square equals to 16, and we are given some external points. So this center is 0, 0. So we're given some point there. So let's say this is the point given to us. And the coordinates of this point is 5, 7. We need to find the length of this tangent. Okay, so that is the question for you. How will you do it? What we can do is connect the point with the center. Oh, let's say the point is P, and let's call this point as Q. We need to find the value of Q, correct? But before that, let us find what OP is, Now OP we can find using distance formula since the coordinates are 0, 0 for the center. Correct? So OP is square root of 5 square plus 7 square, which is 25 plus 49, or 9 plus 5, 14, 4, 1, 74 square root. Now the tangent is always going to make 90 degrees with the radius. And how much is the radius? Radius is 4 units, right? Since the circle given to us is x square plus y square equals to 4 square. So that is the equation of a circle through origin. Radius is 4. So we know this side is 4. So clearly, using Pythagorean theorem, we can find what PQ is. So PQ is going to be square root of 74 minus square of 4. Perfect. Since this is smaller than the hypotenuse, we take the difference. So we get here square root of 74 minus 16. And that gives you square root of 58. Option A is the right option. Do you get the idea? So that is how this question should be solved. So you notice that we have taken example of circles. We have learned that circle equation could be given by x square plus y square equals to r square. And most of these questions can be solved using Pythagorean theorem. And if you remember some Pythagorean triples, it becomes much simpler. And also distance formula. Let me write down distance formula once again. Distance formula is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, square root. And midpoint formula, which is average of x1 and y1 values. Perfect. So these things help us to solve questions related to circle. I hope it makes sense. Feel free to write your comments and share your views. And if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thank you and all the best.